5 fresh salads, including the apple pecan chicken salad and the barbecue ranch chicken salad. Today's audience will all get to try the new salads with their $15 Wendy's gift card that they're going to get after the show today. Lunch is on us. Or maybe you're thinking about dinner already because Chef Devan has a cool recipe. It's sweet potato gnocchi. Oh, so many people love gnocchi, but I've never thought of making it with sweet potato.
It's, I gotta put my spin on everything.
You got a twist. Give me a twist.
Gnocchi is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Most commonly, we're gonna see potato with ricotta.
Yes.
And flour. This time, I thought I'd use sweet potato. Sweet potato still in season. Also, this cool dish gets brown butter sage, and I'll make it almost kind of start to finish here. It's a little tricky to do here, but I'll explain it the best way I can. Okay.
Okay. Good stuff.
So, starting with sweet potato. Take your sweet potato. Now your sweet potatoes are all different sizes, but you're gonna cut it in half lengthwise, brush it with some oil, and then you're gonna bake it off probably about 45 minutes to an hour until the flesh is soft, okay?
Yeah.
Also, when the flesh is warm, that's when you wanna scoop it out. You don't wanna wait till it goes in the fridge. You're gonna be kind of digging it. It's a lot easier when it's warm, okay?
Right.
So flesh comes out, and this is what we have here. So this is gonna go into this bowl here.
Come on out.
I'm gonna use a spoon. There we go. Okay, so that comes into here. Now, there's a lot of different flavoring that goes into this, okay? Ricotta, also known as ricotta, is a really beautiful cheese that you can use. If you're using it, use a cheesecloth, and you're gonna squeeze out the moisture. This is important because
you don't want any of that moisture in your sweet potato.
you are such a star. So you're gonna wring out a lot of that, a lot of the cheese, and then that's gonna come into here. I also have maple syrup that I add.
Yum.
I add lemon zest. We have nutmeg, so you can take nutmeg and just get some fresh nutmeg in there. If you don't want to use fresh nutmeg, doesn't have to taste as good. That's fine. Okay.
He's not judging.
No, so that goes into there. Black pepper, white pepper, whatever you like. I have roasted cinnamon that goes into there. When you have everything, the sweet potato and the ricotta in here, you need to hand blend it.
Okay, so now use the hand blender.
Yeah, so use the hand blender.
Don't use the blender.
Kind of go up and down, and with the cheese, you might be surprised, you might think it's too thick. It will work, I promise.
Okay.
So blend it up, and that will give you a nice, silky, soft gnocchi. Otherwise, it might be a little fibrous, or there might be bits of this and that.
The stringy stuff.
Exactly. So you blend that all up, then comes in your flour, and then using, with the flour, a whisk, in my experience, a whisk kind of gets a little messy. Yeah. And a lot of the dough gets inside of the whisk. So I use just a spatula, and the spatula to spread it out into a bowl, okay?
Okay.
So after that's done, you're left with this, and I tested this recipe. I designed this recipe so it does work. Yeah. So I don't want to hear that it doesn't work, or else I'm gonna have to come over and show you how to do it, okay?
Just lie if it doesn't work, okay?
So when you have the dough here, the dough is very delicate, okay? This gnocchi, I designed this recipe in a way that it's very hard to manage, but it'll be worth it in the end because it'll be so soft, okay? So it's a little bit hard to work with, but I don't want to keep adding flour to this, okay? So. Under the palms, just kind of roll it out as best as you can, and I kind of stretch it at the same time. Traditional gnocchi, it'll be able to roll out very easily, but this one, you can see here, I could add more flour here, right, because it's wet. Yeah. But I don't want to do that, okay? I just want to handle this nice and easy.
Why don't you want to add more flour? It's just that's not the taste you're looking for.
It's going to make it tougher.
Oh, okay.
I want this to be like,
it to be very
I want
soft.
you to eat this and be like, I'm not even chewing. It's just kind of melting in my mouth, right? So this gets rolled out.
Yeah.
I have this one. It's a little skinnier, and you can add a little bit of flour if you need to. With your knife, when you go to cut it, I just add a little bit of flour to the knife as well.
And why do you do that?
It's just so the gnocchi, as I cut into this, you'll see how it's really wet on the inside.
Right.
So it helps it from not sticking, okay?
Smart.
So that's gonna get chopped like this.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of cool things you can do. You can use a fork, and you can roll off, and you can do the fork, the lines on it if you want. You can just put your finger in a bit of flour and push down on it.
Nice.
So you have a little indent. So there's all these different cool things that you can do.
Yeah.
The main thing is, you don't want this to look store-bought. So you don't want them to look all the same. You want them to look
Well, they're not going to.
There it is again, amazing.
Isn't that so cool how we do that?
So you want it to look a little bit different. So these, straight like this, you can make this the night before, and you can just drop them into boiling water, which is here.
Do you want to cool it afterwards before you do this?
It's
really
completely
matter?
room temp right now.
Room temperature is what all you need.
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
If you were to freeze them, I would freeze them at this stage.
Okay.
So you can make a big batch, because it takes a little bit while to make them. Make a big batch, get it in there. And then all these go into here.
Yeah, what about that one? You left it out.
It's a little bit small. Okay,
I know, but that's okay.
okay, cool.
That's not wasted just because
Now-
it's the end piece.
Yeah, and then from here, you're just gonna pan fry them off if you want, okay?
All right.
But you have to wait till they come to float. Now, when
How
you
long does that usually take?
it just probably 3 or 4 minutes it would just
Okay.
take to come to a boil, okay?
All
So
right.
once this comes to a boil, you just toss it into the pan and it's as easy as adding butter and sage. That's all I do to it.
That's
There's nothing.
it.
That's all I do to it. Then I
Okay.
just top it off with some grated Parmesan cheese. Again, flavor profile in here. Caramelization from the brown butter.
Yes.
That freshness, that just seasonality of the sage comes through. The sweetness of the maple syrup. You have the lemon zest, the cinnamon,
When
the
did you
nutmeg.
put the maple syrup in there?
Maple syrup goes into this.
Oh,
I may
that's
not have
right.
mentioned that, but it's all in the
No,
recipe.
I think you did. You might have said that.
It's all in the recipe.
Yeah.
So the maple syrup goes in. So when you take a bite of this thing, it's a little bit overwhelming, okay?
Oh my
This dish,
gosh.
if you learn to make this dish, you will be a star. I want to show you one more thing though with this gnocchi. So these ones are
Alright.
floating here.
Yep.
Remember how I told you I don't want to add more flour to it?
Yes.
The reason why is because look how soft this is. It's like I can't even get my finger under it. See how it
That's how
falls
you
apart?
want it.
So this is
Okay.
how you want it. After you get a little bit of a pan fry on it.
You want it almost mushy. Is that the wrong word to use? Yes,
soft,
it was the wrong word to use. You do not
Soft-
want it mushy. You just
soft
want it
and
to be
pillow-like.
soft. Yeah, pillow-like. I
Pillow-like.
like that. Okay, come on in here, guys, because we're getting a master class right now on the right way to do this. Are you two? Do you two cook?
Do you know we do actually? And we were in British MasterChef. We have recipes that are
really?
published. But I love that. You're like a little kitchen scientist. How do you come up with your ideas? Because you're always like, okay, this is my spin on it. This is what I do with it.
I just like to do things differently.
Yeah.
And big flavor, big color, big texture. That's what I like. I don't want you guys to try
Can I
this
try a
too.
little bit of
But you know
It's
how
cool
those
down.
two dream up one-liners? Do you dream up recipes?
I lose sleep at night.
Can I just say,
It's a little
At night,
cool,
right?
but
I love gnocchi. I really love gnocchi.
Yes.
And no smoke here.
Yeah.
That is just gorgeous.
Thank
it's
you.
perfect. And you said pillow-like. It's really soft and yielding.
Is it
and
gorgeous
glutinous.
like his little man vibe?
Oh my word! Oh my word!
Very good.
It's a feast in the
I
mouth.
had to. Okay, well, cityline.ca. I got to try the gnocchi.
Oh, my.
Thanks for watching.
you.
We'll see you tomorrow in Cityline.